Alright, so this question is a 4-marker which it outlines how the current industrial relations framework is a mix of both these systems. From the previous question we looked at centralised and decentralised wage system, and so what they want you to know is obviously outline, so looking at just features, main features, how the current, so they want something a bit more current and updated, is a mix of both these systems. And so when you're looking at the marking criteria, yes, you're tempted to kind of make the connection between centralised and decentralised and describing that Australia is both those things. But because they wanted to for you to talk about current industrial framework and talk about the Australian context, it needs both the following. It actually says there with reference to particular wage agreements. So you can't just say, oh, well, we have a mix of centralised and decentralised wage determination systems. You need to directly talk about particular wage agreements. And also, the marking criteria talked about recent developments in policy, or recent developments in wage determination. All right, so they want you to know something that might have changed to show that this is currently where we're at in Australia's industrial framework. Okay, so let's break it down. Obviously, the first thing we want to do is kind of make that link. All right, say there is a mix. So identifying the mix of decentralized. So we've obviously got wages based on a national level, and decentralized is individual contracts and enterprise bargaining, and centralized wage system is obviously your award, based nationally, such as awards. Once we've identified the mix in Australia, we know that we would like to have a reference to particular wage agreements. So we might say something along the lines of, we've got 37.9% of employment contracts. So we might look at it via the employment contracts. Enterprise bargaining, enterprise agreements. So this is the evidence that shows that there is a mix. We're looking at how the makeup of Australia's employment contracts. So we've got 37.9% who are there. We've got individual, which is another 37.3%. So we've got a mix of there. We've got the two in there which reflects the system of a decentralised wage system, DCWS. And then what we've got is obviously we plus that with awards. So we have people who are under the awards, the minimum standards based on the Australian Relations Industrial Commission. And so we've got people on awards, which is around 21%. And that reflects a bit of a mix within the contracts because that's evidence of a centralised wage system. So we've shown evidence of the two in reference to particular wage agreements. 3, we want to talk about recently what's happened, so developments within policy. And so we've got the 2006 amendment, if you remember, Amendment Act. So this Amendment Act was to make sure that awards, and there was more reliance on awards, less reliance on awards, and more collective sort of decentralized wage system determinations, okay? So basically now you could negotiate, not just on a national level, but negotiate in the enterprise, the industry, or the individual based on productivity of the workplace, on the workplace level. Okay, so the Amendment Act, so it was a move from centralized wage systems to decentralized based on productivity within enterprise, industry, or individuals. And so I kind of put that together, boys, because what we've done there is that we've actually shown that there is a mix as well as key developments where we're moving towards, which is a decentralized wage system. I know some other people might introduce this idea of AWA, so the Australian Workplace Agreements brought in by Howard. So that's another one to bring in the mix. But I think those kind of key things, 1, 2, 3, 4, can help you answer this question well in terms of outlining how the current industrial relations framework in Australia is a mix of both these systems.